How's it going, comic fanatics? Once again, it's that time of the week for our list of the hottest comic books out in the market. We'll talk about the value and why they were featured in the list, so without further ado, I present to you the hottest keys of the week. At number 10, we've got Vengeance issue number 1 with a high sale of $850. This is a 1:15 variant cover art by Mike Deodato. This book features the first appearance of Miss America, aka America Chavez, who hails from a place called the Utopian Parallel that exists in between dimensions and inhabited only by women. Now for this book's record-breaking sales, we've got a 9.8 that sold for $4,400 compared to last April where one was sold for $3,100 with a 42% increase. There were an astounding 5 9.8 sales this week that all broke the previous $3,100 high. There were 2 $3,800 sales, one $3,700 sale, and another $3,500 sale. The scarcity of this book actually shows that there are 77 copies graded for 9.8, half the quantity of Ultimate Fallout issue number 4, the first Miles Morales, which totals 146 copies unsigned. At number 9, we've got Tales to Astonish issue number 27 with a high sale of $42,000. This book features the first appearance and origin of Hank Pym that later becomes Ant-Man, Goliath, Giant Man, and Yellow Jacket. This week's record-breaking sales for this book is as follows. We've got a 6.0 that sold for $6,500 compared to last April where one was sold for $5,200, and that is a 15% increase. We also have a 4.0 that sold for $3,900 compared to last May where one was sold for $3,812 with a 2% increase. We also have a 3.5 that sold for $4,000 compared to last April where one was sold for $3,250 with a 23% increase. Mind you, sales from the Promise Collection pedigree is not included in the data collection for the Hot 10. At number 8, we've got Tomb of Dracula issue number 10 with a high sale of $2,900. This book features the first appearance of Blade, and mind you, there's actually a Blade movie being in development at the moment, where the rumored antagonists would be Dracula and Werewolf by night. And as of February of 2021, Marvel hired playwright and story editor for HBO's Watchmen, Stacey Osei-Kuffour, to write the screenplay for Blade. Now for this book's record-breaking sales, we've got a 9.8 that sold for $28,800 compared to last April, where one was sold for $25,000 with a 15% increase. We also have a 5.0 that sold for $1,700 compared to last May, where one was sold for $1,400 with a 21% increase. We also have a 3.5 that sold for $1,080 compared to last week, where one was sold for $750 with a 44% increase. Mind you, Tomb of Dracula issue number 10 came out with 4 particular variants. The first one we've got is Dracula Vampirnes Get Blood issue number 10. And this is actually a Tomb of Dracula issue number 10, the first appearance of Blade, Danish edition, with title translation Dracula the Vampire Zone magazine. This is the back cover of the issue actually. This one we've got is Tomb of Dracula issue number 10, German reprint with a high sale of $40. The next one we've got is Tomb of Dracula issue number 10 reprint with a high sale of $20. This is actually packaged with Blade Marvel Legends action figure of 2005. The last one we've got is Tomb of Dracula issue number 1 reprint with a high sale of $35, a reprint of Blade's first appearance from Tomb of Dracula issue number 10, 1973, as well as a reprint of Satana's first appearance from Vampire Tales issue number 2 of 1973. Number 7, we've got Werewolf by Night issue number 32 with a high sale of $3,800. This book features the first appearance and origin of Moon Knight, and in January of 2021, Oscar Isaac confirmed in the role of Moon Knight for Disney Plus TV series. Now for this book's weekly record-breaking sales, we've got a 9.4 that sold for $19,500 compared to last May where one was sold for $11,135 with a 75% increase. We also have a 9.2 that sold for $9,000 compared to last April where one was sold for $7,888 with a 14% increase. Last we've got a 6.0 that sold for $2,100 compared to last April where one was sold for $1,950 with an 8% increase. Now do take note that this particular book came out with just one other variant. It's a Werewolf by Night issue number 32 with a high sale of $4,000. This book features the first appearance of Moon Knight in Spanish edition, which is Werewolf Las Alucinantes Noches del Hombre Lobo, which translates to The Amazing Nights of the Man Wolf, Volume 2, Number 8. This is actually an oversized issue measuring 11.5 inches times 7 inches. At number 6, we've got Incredible Hulk issue number 141 with a high sale of $275. This book features the first appearance and origin of Doc Samson's, and for this book's weekly record-breaking sales, we've got a 9.8 that sold for $4,050 compared to 2019 where one was sold for $2,500 with a 62% increase. We also have a 9.6 that sold for $1,900 compared to last March, where one was sold for $1,080 with a 76% increase. And then again, we also have an 8.0 that sold for $350 compared to last April, where one was sold for $340 with a 3% increase. There is nothing in particular happening with Doc Samson that is pushing the increased values of this issue aside from scarcity and high grade. Then again, the census reports only 52 copies of graded 9.6 and 23 copies of graded 9.8. At number 5, we've got Journey into Mystery Annual Issue number 1 with a high sale of $1,800. This book features the first appearance of Hercules, the first appearance of Zeus, and mind you, versions of the Olympians have appeared previously in different Timely and Marvel comics, but the versions of the characters introduced here consistently maintain an ongoing continuity. This book also features the first battle of Thor versus Hercules. Mind you, in November of 2019, Hercules was a rumored character for the Eternals movie, and in April of 2021, Russell Crowe announces that he has been cast as Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder. Now for this book's weekly record-breaking sales, we have a 7.0 that sold for $2,400 compared to last June where one was sold for $2,000 with a 20% increase. We also have a 6.0 that sold for $835 compared to last July, where one was sold for $485 with a 72% increase. And last, we've got 5.5 that sold for $840 compared to last April, where one was sold for $500 with a 68% increase. Number 4, we've got Full Color issue number 178 with a high sale of $3,200. This book features the first appearance of Uncle Scrooge, introduced in a story titled Christmas on Bear Mountain. Now for this book's weekly record-breaking sales, we have a 9.6 that sold for $90,000. No previous recorded sale in this grade, but the highest all-time sale was $10,500 for a 9.4 in 2011. According to the CGC census, there is only one 9.6 known to exist. We also have a 9.2 that sold for $11,400 compared to 2019, where one was sold for $8,400 with a 36% increase. We also have a 3.0 that sold for $720 compared to last August, where one was sold for $311 with a 132% increase. At number 3, we've got Daredevil issue number 1 with a high sale of $16,000. This book features the first appearance and origin of Daredevil Matt Murdock, also features the first appearance of Foggy Nelson, as well as the first appearance of Karen Page. And for this book's weekly record-breaking sales, we have a 9.2 that sold for $30,000 compared to 2018 where one was sold for $15,200 with a 97% increase. We also have a 0.5 that sold for $1,900 compared to its last known sale of $745 back in 2019 with a 155% increase. Weeks marks the entirety of Daredevil issue number 1 sales in all grades appropriately connecting in price after the initial big record breaking of 9.8 sale of $250,000 in March, setting a new standard of value. Well, to put it simply, a new high sale happened in each grade over the past 90 days on either eBay, Heritage or Comic Link. Number 2, we've got Silver Surfer issue number 4 with a high sale of $3,300. This book features the first battle of Silver Surfer vs. Thor, the second appearance of Mephisto, classic cover art by John Buscema, and of course the first interior art by Sal Buscema. Now for the book's weekly record-breaking sale, we've got a 9.8 that sold for $90,000 compared to last known sale way back in 2019, which is $16,800. That is a 436% increase. There was also a 6.5 that sold recently for $1,680 compared to last week, where one was sold for $1,550 with an 8% increase. We also have a 6.0 sold for $1,500 compared to last May, where one was sold for $1,325 with a 13% increase. Mind you, there are 24 copies graded of 9.8 on the censors only. Now the one on top, at number 1, we have Marvel Spotlight issue number 5 with a high sale of $2,800. This book features the first appearance and origin of Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze. And in May of 2021, a rumor is making the rounds based off some concept art that Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze might cameo on Doctor Strange 2. Now for the book's weekly record-breaking sale, we have a 9.8 that sold for $264,000 compared to a last known sale way back in October 2016, which is only $48,500, and that's actually a 444% increase, as you can see. We also have a 5.0 that sold for $1,900 compared to last April, where one was sold for $1,325 with a 43% increase. We also have a 3.5 that sold for $1,250 compared to last April, where one was sold for $1,000 with a 25% increase. Mind you, there are only 4 copies of this issue graded in 9.8 on the census. And do take note that this particular book only has one particular variant, and that's actually the Italian reprint of Marvel Spotlight issue number 5 with the first appearance of Ghost Rider, which has a high sale of $3,900. Now that wraps up our hottest 10 comic books of the week. I hope that you enjoyed the list as much as I did, and I do hope that I was able to help you with the current value of those keys you might have or you might be wanting to add to your collection. So comment down below and share to the community which ones you have, or actually the ones that you had back then before you actually sold them or traded them off. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more comic related contents, hit subscribe as well as the bell icon, that way you'll be notified if we have new videos.